Summer has abruptly come to an end. I know it's officially fall now, but up until really just recently, just a couple days ago, I was still making videos in a tank top, and now you see me middle of the day in this warm, lovely flannel and a beanie. Thankfully, I got my winter beard all grown out already. It's getting cold. It looks like it's going to storm. There's even potentially lightning in the forecast here in beautiful northern Arizona. So I'm happy about this. I was kind of sick of summer. But I digress. Let's talk about The Walking Dead.
I don't understand. What happened?
All right, so The Walking Dead's latest episode is the first episode since the first couple of season 11 that I've really enjoyed. It wasn't perfect. None of them are, but this one actually really got a lot more scary and a lot more exciting, intense than really anything we've seen this whole season. This is maybe one of the scariest episodes I've seen in a really long time, actually. And it's a Connie-focused episode, which is interesting because one of the last really scary moments this show did was with the Whisperers and the baby in the field, and the zombies coming and Connie running out into the field to try to get the baby. That was back in season 9, second part of season 9. That was could have been the first part of season 10. I don't remember. But anyways, that was a scary moment, very tense. This was a really scary episode that really called to mind like People Under the Stairs and some of these classic horror films. So this is a very Connie-centric episode. Connie has somehow met up with Virgil, and we haven't seen Virgil in a while. You may not remember Virgil by name, but Virgil is the man who Michonne met in her final episode, who was going a little crazy, gave her some hallucinogenics, had his colleagues locked up in a room on this island. I believe it was an island. And ultimately sort of led Michonne to some clues about Rick, which convinced her that she should go off on her own, abandoning her children and her friends in the middle of a war with the Whisperers, which I thought was one of the worst episodes of Walking Dead ever, and just one of the worst character send-offs ever, because Michonne, of course, being one of the most important characters in The Walking Dead, didn't go out with a bang, but with a whimper, and I was just super let down. And then Virgil, she kind of like shows mercy to him and sends him off to, I don't know, find her people, I can't remember. Apparently he runs into Connie, who for some reason can't find Alexandria for a very long time. She was separated in the cave and then just wandered around for months, I guess now. I don't know how long, I don't know what the time frame here is, but for quite a while she's been wandering around, camping in the forest, and I just don't quite understand how she hasn't found Alexandria, which is apparently really close to DC, which would probably make it fairly easy to come across. The geography of this show is weird, isn't it? Like, they're so close to DC that they can hop into the subway tunnels to get to where Maggie's people were. But every time you're in or around Alexandria, it just feels like they're in the middle of nowhere. So I don't quite understand that. I don't think the show does either. I'd like to see a map. But Connie and Virgil are running away from something or somebody. We realize quickly it's not zombies because they run to this house where zombies are outside. They don't even bat an eye at the zombies. They just try to get in the house. And this is kind of the main and most interesting part of, or most interesting storyline of the episode. So once inside the house, they look around and it seems like it's clear. But then Connie, who's deaf, so all her point of view scenes basically are totally silent, which has a very intense effect on the actual viewing experience, because it's just like you not being able to hear as you walk around this old abandoned house. That would be freaky, right? Just being in the zombie apocalypse as a deaf person would be really, 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 really scary. But she's looking through this bathroom, and in the medicine cabinet, there's like a hole that you can throw your razors in or something, and suddenly there's this eye just looking back at her, and she freaks out, and she tries to convince Virgil that they're not alone, but he thinks it's just sleep deprivation. And then as they're walking through the house, a false wall falls down, separating the two in a hallway, and all sorts of hell breaks loose. Connie's chased by this guy that's like walking on all fours, like a crab walk or spider walk or something. It's very like classic like horror, like cannibals in the woods chasing down, college students on vacation horror style episode, which is kind of unique for The Walking Dead. They haven't done a lot of that kind of horror in this show, partly because Walking Dead is supposed to be slightly realistic, and this is not. The whole group of people that like basically wear loincloths, have long, ragged hair, and try to hunt people and eat them. I'm assuming eat them. Pretty sure that one guy said he's hungry at one point. Virgil says to Connie, "I've never seen people this far gone." And this is true. These are the most far gone of any of the bad guy groups in The Walking Dead that we've ever seen. More than Terminus, more than the Whisperers. It's like Terminus meets the Whisperers and then like times 10. So they're totally off the reservation, right? These guys, totally implausible. And I don't care because it's scary and it's fun. I think that's one thing about this show. The implausible stuff, the over-the-top stuff, it can work as long as it's done well, right? As long as it's exciting, intense, and not played out to death. I mean, thank goodness this is just one episode of these guys, and then they're all killed, because we don't have to. Unlike so many villain groups in this show, they serve their purpose in one episode and they're done, which is great. So that whole section, it just made me feel like I was watching a horror movie, and I really enjoyed it. I wish we had more of that kind of thing in The Walking Dead, more attempts at being really scary and really tense, because it doesn't usually play off that well. So that was cool to see. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoyed it. The other two storylines, we have Daryl with the stupid Reapers, and he has to help torture one of Maggie's people to find their rendezvous spot, or where they're hiding or whatever. And he ends up chopping off this guy's finger, and the guy gives away the location, and him and what's-her-face and what's-his-face and some of the, like, a group of like 5 Reapers, including Daryl, go out and look for Maggie and her people. And they do find the right spot, and there's a scene straight out of Willow, basically, where Maggie and them are hiding in the basement, and they've got a rug over the door, and Daryl tries his best to like cover it up, and this other guy, Carver or something, I don't remember. He really hates Daryl. I think there's some sort of weird like macho, like, get out of my territory. Like, he likes Lucy. Is it Lucy? They both like her, so there's a big old pissing contest over that. Ultimately, Maggie and them get away, but when Daryl gets back to the Reaper's hideout, Pope has continued torturing this guy and has gotten some new information out of him, which he makes it seem like he's learned something about Daryl. And Daryl looks pretty nervous, rightfully so. It's probably time for him to just run away. But the third storyline then is about Kelly and Carol, not Aaron, he didn't join, Rosita and Magna, all going out looking for Connie. Kelly leaves first because no one's smart in this show. She just rides off without any help. Fortunately, help catches up with her, and she finds evidence of, her sister, and eventually they show up to that house. They track her down to the house right when she and Virgil are escaping, and some of those creepy people are chasing them, and Kelly takes them out with her slingshot. So, slingshot always seems like kind of a silly weapon for a zombie show, but whatever. Especially these guys, they're sort of like superhuman, like crazy feral creatures. They should just brush that stupid slingshot off. But anyways, cheerful reunion, yada yada yada. End of the episode. And the next episode, there's a preview for that, and that looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna have to watch that soon. I think we're beginning to see maybe the ice melt between Maggie and Negan, and maybe they'll hook up. Maybe, we'll see. Anyways, I really enjoyed this episode. Obviously, there were a few little things about it that always rubbed me the wrong way with The Walking Dead, but overall, really enjoyed it. Very scary. I hope to see more good, like, scary horror movie stuff from this show in its last few episodes, or last dozen or so. What do we got? We got 2 more in this block, and then 2 more blocks of 8, so 18 episodes left. Quite a few. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought of this episode in the comments below, and peace.